Okay, everybody, we're here at the 2024 Cruisin the Coast First Gen Camaro meetup, and we are here with John Watkins.
Hello.
My husband, and he's going to take us on a tour of all of the First Gen Camaros and explain to us how you can tell a First Gen 67, 68, and 69, and then talk about some of the modifications that may have been made to these cars. Let's start off with this beautiful red Camaro. Go.
It is, yes, this is the First Gen Camaro Connection Facebook page group annual meetup at Cruisin the Coast. This red beauty right here is a 68 Camaro. It is a modified motor, 454. They didn't come factory that way, so it's just one of the beefed up cars. You can see a lot of chrome under the hood. Beautiful car. Some of the significant differences between the 67 and the 68, which are almost identical, but this little side marker light, front and back quarter panels, were not part of the 67 Camaro, but the Highway Safety Commission found that the cars were virtually invisible at night from the side, so in 1968 they required them to come out with these side marker lights. Also in 68 they came out with a package called Astro Ventilation, which did away with the old wing vent windows that used to be right here. Now there's a damper control down in the quarter panel inside with a flow through the trunk system to allow for ventilation, which, like I say, they called that Astro Ventilation. Basically did away with the vent window. So the quickest, easiest identifier, if you see us First Gen rolling down the road between a 67 and a 68, is the vent window. 67, not on a 68.
And one of my pet peeves with ours, which we'll get to in a minute, is the seats. Notice these form-fitting seats compared to the ones I'm going to show you in ours. Because
these are not standard factory First Gen Camaro seats. These are a pro car style with the bolstering to hold you in place, because as you keep these cars maintained and cleaned up, you use a lot of Armor All, which makes the seats slicker than snot. And when they don't hold you in place, I get Roxanne in my lap a lot more times than I expect.
Which isn't a bad thing. Anyway, that's way TMI. All right, so here's our next one. Talk to us about this.
There's the vent window. No side marker light. This is an SSRS, which is a Super Sport Rally Sport, with a big time Pro Charger blower setup, dual chargers. Do the hideaways on the front.
Oh, okay.
The significance of the Rally Sport option was basically an appearance package. Came with the hideaway headlights.
Right here. They pop up.
This one doesn't have the chrome or the stainless steel edging underneath the windows, but it does have it on the rocker panel down at the ground level. When we get to mine, I'll show you the ones on the window. But again, the Rally Sport was an appearance package, whereas the Super Sport was a performance package. It has a bigger motor, dual exhaust, different suspension setup, just a heavier duty Super Sport feature.
And obviously this one's been modified for racing with the roll bar and all of that type of thing. So just to look at it, yeah, big beefy tires. You can see those tires.
Check out this 69 behind you.
Yeah, I got to put one on mine.
So this is a Pro Street modified 69, just a beautiful car.
Is that what it's called, Resto Mod?
Well, this one is a Pro Street modification. Meaning it's been lowered. Everything's modified. All the interiors, all custom. The trunk was custom. Then you get around to the engine compartment. It's all custom. Basically a new car on an old body. See the engine compartment is crazy.
Oh my gosh. That's totally crazy. Wow. Oh yeah, that's a good point. These all which we prefer the original. But respect the fact that other people have different tastes, because we can't all have the original ones. This one's a crazy motor.
Another 69, and we didn't talk about some of the differences in the 69.
All right, let's
But
point those out.
the clearest, quickest is the shark gills. If you go back right in front of the rear tires, the 69s have the shark gills. This one's got them even more pronounced with the trim kit that they've got on those. It's got the black houndstooth interior.
This is what I would prefer to have, because you can see the slight contour than the houndstooth, which is not slick, so that your nylon skirts don't slide across the seats often. And you can see what it looks like from behind. And I love some of these people's tags are so cool.
Also, the tail lights are also a big feature change. These long, narrow slit tail lights are 69s. You can see them on this one and that modified street pro touring modification.
Right.
But on the
But if you look at this one,
this 68,
it has
this is not a rally sport. One way you can tell, again, these are all crazy things, but these tail lights, you have the brake light and turn signal here, and you have the backup light here. You notice there's nothing down in that bottom balance panel. On the Rally Sport, the entire tail light is brake and turn signal, and the backup lights are actually mounted down in the lower balance panel.
That's interesting.
Sometimes you'll see people do a hideaway headlight conversion on a non-Rally Sport car, and they won't follow all the way through and do all the other components, and so it doesn't.
So here is their First Gen Car Club logo, for those of you interested. Now, this one looks a little beat up. This one,
some guys bring their cars here as survivors. They call survivors, meaning that they're very roadworthy, but they've not been
repainted.
Rescued. They've not been modified. They've just been maintained. And
they have updated. Oh, and this is a racer too. It's got the roll bar in it. It's got an
LS engine swap instead of the standard.
So he put his money in his engine as opposed to the body. Look at that engine. That's crazy. Wow. Definitely a performance one with the peekaboo headlights. SS350. And then
The next one,
we get to the showstopper here.
Has a little more attachment to it. This is our 327 cubic inch Rally Sport 58. Here's your hideaway headlights. Here's your side marker light. Here's where I was talking about earlier, the stainless trim around the door window.
Yeah,
and down
up
on the
here.
little rocker panel.
So up here is the stainless trim, and then down here you get stainless.
Purely a cosmetic package on the Rally Sport.
For the RS.
And this will take you around to the back. You'll see what I was talking about with the tail lights being there.
You've got the tail lights there, and then you've got the backup lights on the bottom.
Now, even though these are the factory bezel tail lights, I did a little upgrade on those. You want to hold on?
Sure.
Replaced the old 1157 burnout bulbs and put in the electronic sequence taillights, and they are trouble-free, nuisance-free.
And then we have our Power Tour 2023. And I'll show you what I'm talking about. Here's the standard seats. So you can see they're flat on the bottom, they're flat on the top. And so when you round a corner at anything over 10 miles an hour, you end up either on the console or against the door. So here's the rest of it. You've got the horseshoe shifter. Everything in here is original.
Original interior, original upholstery.
And we come with golf clubs. Okay.
Come on,
So,
let's check on the motor if you want.
all right.
This is the original 327 block in this car. but the Edelbrock intake manifold, and underneath here is a Holley Sniper fuel injection. It came with a Rochester Quadrajet 4-barrel carburetor, but as is common with those, our float stuck on our way to a car show and doused the entire engine with gasoline.
Not cool.
So we didn't turn the key again until I had the carburetor out and the fuel injection in.
And the most important requirement in Florida?
This is a air conditioner, but it's put in by a package called Vintage Air, which is made to look like an original factory air conditioning system. But we got the alternator and brake booster and air conditioning. But yeah, we're sissies down in Florida. We got to have some air conditioning every now and then. It gets hot.
All right, so now we're going to look at this one. It's got the side lights, hideaway headlights, but
it's a convertible.
It's a convertible. So we're going to go back here. It has like the original seats as well. You can see the flat, but awesome cool. It's obviously a standard transmission, but everything else looks very original. Original steering wheel. Let's go back here. Cool looking tires. And then you see you've got the headlights and then the backup lights. And here's another one of those that you can get a better idea on the stance of these.
What they call Pro Touring modification. Stance is way lowered. This one's the tail light bezels have been replaced with an aftermarket. All the chrome has been blacked out. Door handles are blacked out. Bumpers are blacked out.
You see this, and then this, and then this.
They're very open to modification on all these cars because they make parts are very easy to get. And in the aftermarket, they do all kinds of options.
And then you have the black around all of the trim, black door handles. That's kind of the package that they do when they start the modifications. You can see the interior.
Big shifter in there.
Yeah, definitely a performance. And then tell us a little bit about the engine.
Well, not factory.
Okay.
Yeah, that's got wheel lid brake upgrade back there on the booster. Not even going to begin to go into
Yeah,
whose motor
that's
that
a
is.
very interesting one. That's not the normal
Not a typical
LS.
LS.
No. That's interesting. It's got all of the exposure.
Same air conditioning upgrade. That's not obviously not the factory one.
Doesn't look like a vintage one either.
Yeah, it is made by them. It's a little different model.
Then you can have
All
that
right.
panel.
What do we got here?
Here's
panel
more of a
right here.
traditional non-RS, non-SS 69.
Oh, yeah.
Just a really nice, clean
That it is.
version. We've got the shark gills we talked about before.
Yeah, let's look at that real quick. There's your shark gills back here, making it a 69.
Not a factory interior, but a very nicely done one. Very nice. This looks like a real good, comfortable cruising car. Other than the fact
And it's
that
got
a
all
stick.
of the original gauges, most of the original dash. All of that looks original. But like you said, the upholstery's a little different, but very tastefully done.
Now this one's carrying a logo on the back of the emblem of a ZL1. ZL1 is a super high performance option, and it could be, but I don't have the knowledge to be able to dig deeper and tell you whether that's just an emblem on there or if this is actually a true ZL1.
And what's the significance of ZL1?
ZL1 is probably between 175 and 200 horsepower more than our little blue gal over there. Big racing cam, high displacement motor, all racing components in the engine, upgraded suspension, just everything for being able to get in trouble.
Okay, what do we got here?
Got a 67 convertible. My car, or our car, you'll notice the gas cap, it says SS. When we bought our car, it had an SS gas cap. It had an SS emblem in the grille. It had an SS emblem on the side front quarter panel behind the rear wheel, none of which was true. SS model cars only came from the factory as a 350 or 396. Ours has the original 327, so it could never have been an actual SS, even though it was badged as well. But this guy
Getting settled in.
settled in here.
You saw he had the LED lights on his too. His is badged as a Z28, and he has the gills, so that's a 69. He definitely has an after factory hood. So let's get around here.
So back to this SS badge car. It's got the breather on top says Blueprint, which is a motor manufacturer who makes a motor out of the Blueprint line. The valve covers say 383 Stroker, which is another engine brand. So they've kind of piecemealed that together a little bit, but there are quite a few cars out here that have gone to the 383 Stroker. For whatever reason, the motors were either blown or worn out in their cars. Our car was a very low mile car. We just rolled over 70,000 miles. When we bought it 6 years ago, it had 46,000 documented miles on it. So it's, obviously the engine on that is far from worn out.
And let's look at the interior here. They have some really cool seats. Aftermarket, obviously, SS logoed. Some upgraded dash. But I want to get around here to this yellow one. This one's a very
Factory paint job.
yeah, factory paint job, of course.
Not. Now this 69, the 69s have a different body shape than the 67 and the 68.
Yeah.
You see, you can see how much thicker the whole body is here, and how the 69s are a wider stance, lower profile body.
Oh yeah, I hadn't ever noticed that. This one sits a whole lot higher up,
The podcast, you got something?
and that one's a little lower. So yeah, this one's much sleeker. And is indicative of some of the lessons learned with the designers, because the original 67s, oddly enough, were actually meant to be more of a family car. And once they kind of caught on, they went more and more kind of towards what we know today as the muscle car. This is a very interesting interior. This is very thick. Yeah, that wouldn't work very well in Florida. Very dark, thick material. But again, you've got Pro Power Tour logo. Beautiful paint job on there. Next, we have another badged as an RS Hideaway, and you can tell it's a 67 because of the vent windows here. You can see it's got a fairly standard 327 engine in it with your AC. Everything else looks fairly original. I love the interior. Love, love, love this. This is not original, but this is beautiful. Ours came with this in the middle. We took it out. But obviously you don't have cup holders or modern conveniences like this. And this has the T-shifter as opposed to the horseshoe shifter, but everything else on that dash looks very original. The steering wheel's original. I lost John to the telephone. One of the guys that's helping us with our rental property and the hurricane just called, so he's gonna be just a minute. This obviously is a racer. You've got massive big tires. All of the not well maintained, but you know, that's not what they have them for. It's badged as an RS as well. You can tell that it is a 68. It's got your side emblems on it. No vent window, no gills. And then we're gonna quickly look at this. This one again is badged as an RS. This looks very similar to ours, obviously except for different paint color. And it has the vinyl roof, which was an option. And that's the one we were just looking at that has a really cool interior. Okay, this one's badged as a Z28.
All right, now back to the descriptors. Z28, what's the engine size say?
302.
302. Back in the late 60s, there was a racing series that was put out that was called the Trans Am Racing Series. And part of that series was a very specific specification for any car that was going to be in that series, and that one of those limiters was 5.0 liter engine, which is a 302. Ford had a 302. Chevrolet initially did not. They had a 305, they had a 307, then they jumped on up to the 327 and the 350. But to be a part of the Trans Am Racing Series, they came out with the Z28, which was set up as the specs for that particular series. And so a true Z28 is going to have a 302 motor in it. Even though it's a lower cubic inch displacement than our 327, the rest of the components of the engine cause it to put out about 100 to 125 horsepower more. So it's a smaller displacement, but a more higher performance motor.
That's interesting. And these are the original wheels?
Those are called rally wheels with the decorator rings. You can get them without these exterior rings, but that's the full package, and that would have been a standard factory. Whether these are factory or not, you'll never know, but
right.
That is how they would have come.
And it's got the factory seats. It's got this additive console in it like ours came with. It's got the horseshoe shifter. Everything else looks very original in there. It's beautiful. You see the gills. Everything else.
The Z28 package was the stripes. We have Z28 stripes on our car, even though our car is not a Z28. And
it just looks really cool.
If you go to the purists at some of these car shows, they will give you grief about the fact that, dude, what's the deal with the Z28 stripes on your 327 car? When we bought the car, it was striped that way already. I like it that way, and so I tell them to fight me.
That's why I love them. All right, 350 SS. This one's been slightly modified because you can tell from where the gills were here. I'll get out of the sun so you can see right there. Obviously, these are not factory wheels, but all of the interior is factory. Horseshoe shifter, updated steering wheel, but this car is beautiful. And look at these, the stripes that they have on this particular car are purple, but there's like clouds in them. It's just beautiful. And it's got the SS and the purple on the back. Not a big purple car fan, but this one's very well done. Love this car. Love, love, love it. All right, so we've already talked about the orange one. We're gonna go over here. I'm gonna try to get to all of them, maybe not be so detailed unless we can find something that stands out. This again is the SS. 67 vent window. It's got the stripes on it. Cool wheels. The inside looks upgraded seats, but other than that, fairly original. This one's a beautiful car. Badged as an SS.
See, mine went in.
Vent window, 67. Paint job's amazing. It's kind of that root beer color, burnt orange. Gorgeous. Anything about this one?
Yeah, it says it's an SS350. That part matches up. Clearly that motor's been taken out and modified because there's all that engine compartment space indicates there's been some changes. Aluminum valve covers are original. The intake manifold's been modified to accept a different carburetor. Looks like a high volume poly or something. And let's see.
Very original, except for the shifter's not, but the seat.
Fancy steering wheel.
Yeah.
Spoilers were available on or off, so you can't really tell whether that's been done.
All right, let's move on to this one. 69 convertible. This white interior. That's like, wow. Those actually look like boat seats. That's so interesting. Very interesting wheels. But you can see they have like the ghost gills because they take the metal off when they get them repainted, but the paint's beautiful. There's the engine. We're gonna kind of keep moving unless you see something unique about a particular one you want to point out. What do we have here?
We got a 69 Rally Sport. It's got the hood is a Super Sport feature hood. It's got those I call them ice cube trays, but they aren't real. They don't really ventilate. They're there as cosmetic only.
And only our generation will know what ice cube trays are.
Right.
Okay. And then you can see the wheels.
Looks like you got the original owner in the back seat.
The original owner. Okay. All right, what do we got here? 67 vent windows. Yes.
First Gen owners, can you come up front, please?
Go ahead, I'm going to keep going. And then this is one that's had the engine obviously upgraded. It's got metal flake blue.
First Gen members, up here, please.
If you can see that, you've got the white updated interior, that metal flake, and the sun is just amazing. Has a very unique spoiler. It's got very unique. I've never seen stripes like that. So that's very interesting. That obviously is a 69. And then we have one here badged as an SS, and we always say that because, like John said, ours was badged as an SS, but it was actually an RS. This red interior is amazing with this silver exterior. Is just absolutely gorgeous, and it has the red nose stripe, which is amazing. You've got, oh, this one's very interesting. I've never seen this paint job either. Got gold on the top, kind of a reddish maroon around the bottom, almost like a Florida State color. Roll bar. Oh my God, what is that? Tell me what that is. That's an 8-track player. You gotta love it. All right. Badged as an RS on the gas cap. And then we've got this here. We've got very interesting, that's a 67. It is First Gen in his SS badge. And then we've got this red beauty here that's more of a blood red than the original factory red, but it's gorgeous. Upgraded seating, upgraded shifter, new radio. The rest of it looks fairly standard. Crazy ass engine. Look at that. That's crazy. This to me looks like a beach beauty. I love that color. I love the extra little pinstriping. Engine. And as John said, the original owner. And you've got the flat. Hey, you see this? Obviously they're here from far away. It does look like they're doing some modifications to it. It's got the fairly original engine. Okay, this engine's killer.
You may have to roll them up.
And look at that red. That red is fabulous. And then this is standard fare here, where you have someone who comes to Cruisin the Coast all the time. There's the vents that John was talking about, the modified seat covers. This one has a completely new dash, convertible, completely, the trunk's gone. But look at this beauty here. We've got the pearl white that is just glowing in the sun. This is amazing. Look at the gold dust in that. Holy moly, that's beautiful. With the orange, heavy metal flake orange in there. I hope you guys can see that because it's amazing. Oh my gosh, look at this. Are you kidding me? Look at that. He's got a big one and a little one. Oh my gosh. And then he's got an even bigger one. What the hell? This is super cool. Is this your car? Yes, oh my gosh. Hi, I'm doing a live stream video for my podcast. I love your car.
Thank you.
What's your name?
Ed Washington.
Hi, it's nice to meet you. I'm Roxanne.
Yes, daughter Zoe and little Ed.
Hi.
Hi.
What do y'all think of your dad's car?
It's very cool.
Oh, and look at your shirt. Oh my gosh, you both and all three of them. Gosh, I love this because this is such a family affair. This is the part that I most love about cars and getting the younger generation involved. That's one of the things when John first got our car, when we go to car shows, we always, anytime we see kids, we let them get in the car, take their picture in the car, because we want more of you guys. What do you guys think about your dad's car?
It's very loud.
All right, who's going to get it?
She wants this one.
Give it up right here. I'm with you, girlfriend. I love the hounds too. This is just a beautiful interior.
The crazy thing about it was we found this under a tree.
What?
Yeah, found this one under a tree and restored it to what it is now. Sitting under a tree rotting.
It is some very
Where
amazing-
are you
It was
from?
in Rosenberg, Texas.
And are you from Texas?
Yes, Houston.
And you drove here for the car show?
Oh yeah.
Okay, so let me tell you, I love the metal flake in your paint. One of the very first things I noticed.
The thing about the paint is a touching story. My dad had dementia and Alzheimer's, so I let him pick this color scheme, and he picked it out before it really set in, and we sprayed it right before he passed, and this is what it came out.
Oh,
so it's a
God bless
one-off
you. You
color.
just gave me chills.
So nobody can match this
Oh.
color. They actually patented it for him,
sir.
so it's his.
He did- he's gonna-
Talk to you.
That's so awesome.
So,
Thank
yeah.
you. Thank you.
Thank you.
You got yourself, sir, and your children.
That's the coolest story ever. That's why I love coming to these car shows. These people are so awesome. Yeah, that. Oh, and look. Oh my gosh, that is so freaking cool. Yeah, and look at those wheels. Holy moly. Mr. Ed's classic car fan page. Y'all need to go check that out. That guy and his kids are awesome. All right, I've already done all of those. I'm just going to come catch these down here. Okay, all right. So these are the official people of the First Gen, and they're going around and interviewing all of the car owners. So I'm going to hang out here because he's only going to spend a few minutes. You guys can tell this one is a ghosted 69 with the gills back there, convertible. I can see it's got modified seats in it. And we've got this red beauty convertible here, 69, which is amazing. Original horseshoe shifter, gauges, RS steering wheel, original. We don't have the original steering wheel in ours. Oh my gosh, that's a cool engine. Yep. And then we've got the white one. These are some interesting wheels. I've never seen those. Supercharger LS engine. That's kind of the normal modified engine that you find in these at car shows. But look how slick that is. I hope you guys can appreciate that. Is a freaking cool car right there. And again, this is kind of the body style. They've taken all the chrome off. It's got the ghosted 69 gills back there, but look at this interior. This interior would rival anything that you're going to find on a showroom today. This is amazing. Okay. So that pretty much locks us up for the cars. And I'm going to come over here and let John say goodbye to everybody. But again, here is a view of all of these guys and their owners. You can't find a better group of people anywhere. All Trump supporters, American loving people. Oh, there's the guy. He's starting his car. God love him. All right. What's your last words?
Well, we just blessed to be able to be here. Blessed to have gotten through the storm with as few problems as we did. And looking forward to scratching out a few more good days here before we go home and start the digging out and sweat.
Awesome. All right, guys. That's the First Gen 2024 Camaro meet. That's a